Hi, I'm Father John Muir, and this is Catholic Breakfast. Hey, I want to talk to you about the movie Silence. So I just saw the movie Silence by the wonderful director Martin Scorsese. You may know the basic plot of the movie. It's two priests in the 17th century who go into Japan in the midst of terrible persecution. I want to fast forward to the climactic scene of the movie where Rodriguez, one of the two Jesuit priests, is facing this terrible decision to apostatize, to renounce his faith in Christ by stepping on an image of Jesus. Now, what the Japanese figured out was if you want to stamp out Christians, don't martyr the priests in front of Christians, torture and martyr the Christians in front of the priests. So, this Rodriguez is seeing Christians tortured, and he's trying to decide what to do. And then he hears a voice tell him to step on the face of Christ. It's a voice which seems to be speaking in the very person of Jesus, saying, "Step on me, step on me." The exercises of St. Ignatius of Loyola can shine a kind of light on that moment. Let me back up just a little bit. Earlier in the movie, the two Jesuits make a reference to the exercises. They're deciding, should we leave this mission? And one of them says, we discerned this in the exercises. The exercises are the exercises of St. Ignatius of Loyola. It's a 4-week spiritual journey where a person meditates on the life of Christ and then is brought to this place of decision for Jesus, for relationship with him, and then finally how practically to live that out. So ostensibly, these two Jesuits decided that they were being called to this mission. Here's where it gets a little sophisticated. Ignatius gives these rules for understanding how to discern God's voice. He says a consolation is how a person experiences God's voice. It's typically accompanied with a sense of peace, confidence in God, a desire to do God's will, a desire to stay in a relationship with God, to serve him, praise him, etc. That's a consolation. It's very much what the two Jesuits experienced when they first get to Japan. Keep going, would say St. Ignatius of Loyola. Now, in that moment when the man is tempted to apostatize, when Rodriguez is hearing this voice, what the Ignatian exercises would ask him are, is that a desolation or is that a consolation? Meaning, if it's a consolation, it's the voice of Christ, so you should do it. If it's a desolation, it's not from God, therefore it's going to pull you out of relationship with God, and it's to be rejected. Well, there's the ambiguity of the moment, right? At the moment that Rodriguez decides to apostatize, there's this face of Jesus that Scorsese punctuates the movie with, that the young man sees. And at the moment he makes that decision, the face disappears. One way to read that is, he changed his earlier conviction about how he would follow Christ. And at that moment, the face disappears. Does that mean that the relationship with Christ broke? Well, Scorsese leaves it open. Now, the circumstances of that movie and the circumstances of those two priests' lives, just like our life, is often very complicated and very difficult, very ambiguous. But the beautiful thing about these spiritual exercises are they kind of cut through all that ambiguity, and they help us see that every decision in life really is either for God or against God. So I loved the movie. I thought it was a great way to get to know the exercises in a concrete way. I think that the exercises are also a great way to get to understand what these two Jesuits were going through in the movie. So check out the movie, and maybe check out the exercises too, and I think you'll enjoy both.